Myron, you got a new piece out right now on ESPN.com. If you have not yet gone over to check it out, please do so because, Myron, great idea. In light of the new NBA format for the All-Star game going Team World versus Team USA, you applied that to college basketball, which, to be quite frank, we probably wouldn't have been able to do 5-10 years ago. But with the influx of international play into the college game, it certainly applies. Fun read, but before we break it down, Myron, please talk about the criteria that you used to bring the world players onto the Team World side.
Well, I call it the Karl Anthony Towns rule. Karl Anthony Towns, born in New Jersey, but played for the Dominican Republic youth teams, wants to represent them one day because his mother was born and raised there. So if you have a parent from another country, if you've represented the youth teams of those countries, if you could qualify in the future to play on those youth teams, then you have a chance to be on our world team. So that was the criteria. We kind of, use different things to get some guys on the world team, but it's all valid and legit. And it made for a really competitive competition.
Hey, based on that criteria, Myron, I would compete on Team World because my mom was born in the Dominican Republic.
Hey.
Actually, Puerto Rico. She is Dominican, was born in Puerto Rico. So I'm going to go Team World, and we'll start with Team World. Who stands out from this group for you? Tell us about this group.
I think people are probably surprised that A.J. Dybansta is on that team, but he is Team Jamaica. He's done a lot of charitable efforts in Jamaica through his mom, who was born and raised there. He launched a hurricane relief effort there. So A.J. Dybansta has to be the top guy on that team. But Yax Lindeborg, who represented the Dominican Republic. Christian Anderson, people may be surprised, the Texas Tech star from Germany. His father was born there. He's played on the German national youth teams. So I think the world team is really, really tough to deal with when you consider that a potential number one pick could be the anchor of that group, and he's surrounded by a lot of stars who could also have NBA futures.
Okay, Myron, let's get to the bench side of the world team because I've got thoughts, maybe a couple of omissions here that I want to run by you, but let's get to the bench side before we break down the team a little bit more.
Well, I mean, Abuka Okorie from Stanford, I think is a guy that people need to know. A scoring phenom, just a freshman. He's the guy who helped take down North Carolina. He's been one of the most prolific offensive players in the country, top 10. Wasn't a highly recruited guy and just has really stormed onto the scene with his offensive prowess. And then Flory Badunga, who, if you want to say Darryn Peterson is the best player that Kansas has, Flory Badunga is the most important player that Kansas has. You saw that against Arizona on Monday. You've seen that throughout the season. When Kansas doesn't have Darryn Peterson, remember, they're still a top 10 defense, and Flory Badunga is a huge part of that.
And let's jump over to Team USA now, Myron. And I mean, we look at this roster, just absolutely stacked. Who did you select here? And also, who's taking the last shot out of this group as well?
If Darryn Peterson is on the team, Darryn Peterson's taking the last shot. Probably the first shot, too, right? But I think this team, what you notice about them, very young. Kingston Flemings, the freshman at point guard. Darryn Peterson, another freshman at the 2. You got Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson. 4 of my 5 guys on the Team USA are freshmen. And then Joshua Jefferson, who's just maybe the most versatile player in the country at Iowa State. So this is a really interesting group because you're going to have a lot of energetic, ambitious guys who all want that last shot, but also just a talented group with 4 guys who could be top 10 picks on this team alone. And Joshua Jefferson, also a projected first-round pick. So real NBA talent, but also a lot more youth in this starting rotation on Team USA.
No doubt about it. By the way, the Caleb Wilson aspect of it just came out this week. Suffered the broken hand, is out indefinitely. He tweeted out he's hoping to get back at some point in this season. So, Myron, I ask you, who from your bench on Team USA would you maybe substitute into the starting rotation now for Caleb Wilson?
Well, I think the easiest thing is probably to get a little smaller, give me another point guard in Braden Smith. A lot of people are upset about Braden Smith coming off the bench, but these are teams. I want a catalyst off the bench. I trust Braden Smith to be that guy to lead that group. Maybe the best point guard in the country. I just think Kingston Flemings is a really talented guy as well. And Darius Acuff Jr. is another guy at Arkansas who, if this wasn't one of the most talented freshman classes that we've ever seen, Darius Acuff would be getting a lot more buzz around the country. Just a really complete guard, a really complete player. Our bench on Team USA, I think, is stronger than the bench on Team World. I think that's probably the most noticeable thing.
Now, Myron, I obviously think this work is perfect because I am your ESPN.com brethren. I'm going to let Sam pick this apart here in just a second. But before we let Sam do that, I want to know who you think wins in this tournament-style neutral elimination game.
You know what? I think the talent edge goes to Team USA, right? I mean, if you're just talking about NBA futures and guys who just are 5-star, high-caliber players, you got to give that edge, I think, to Team USA. But Team World has some veterans, and they have A.J. Dybansta. And there aren't a lot of freshman-led teams that have won national championships at this level. I actually give the edge to Team World. They're big, they're experienced, and they have a guy who I think is your closer in A.J. Dybansta. So I think Team World might have a slight edge, despite the talent edge maybe going to Team USA.
Okay, Myron.
Yeah.
Couple of things here. My guy Alex Karaban's getting a little disrespect now. 2-time national champion as an alternate. Look, I mean, you want to talk about wins. He's like the winningest active player right now, and maybe going to win 3 in the last 4 years for the UConn Huskies. So thoughts about maybe moving him up out of the alternate spot onto the bench, and then also I got to show some love to Tobe Awaka for Arizona, since College Game Day is in Tucson. There's no national award for 6th man of the year, but if there was, Tobe Awaka would probably be winning it there, right? Thoughts on those?
Yeah, Tobe Awaka would be a great addition. You just see how much talent is on that team, though, right? It's hard to move anybody off that roster. Alex Karaban, the UConn guys were hard to figure out. There was a big debate internally about who do you include. Is it Alex Karaban? Do you bring on a Braylon Mullins? Like, they have so many talented guys. So it's not a disrespect to Alex Karaban. He's right there and ready to go if we need him, and I'm sure he would show up for Team USA.
Okay, and then real quick, back to Team World. Xavier Lee is a guy that didn't get a lot of love to start the year for Florida. He's playing a little bit better. I think he hails from Canada. Oscar Clough, he has been Purdue's closer over the last couple of games, as evidenced by that overtime win for Nebraska. And then I would have Mo Krivas in there as well, another Arizona guy, maybe in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. He was injured a lot last year. So those would be my 3.